So, major update. I realised over the weekend, and this isn't really a surprise, I knew this was happening, but I fully realised that I am 20 weeks away from my first bodybuilding competition, from actually stepping on a stage in a bikini, presenting my physique that I've built over my life, really. And that's actually going to happen. And that really hit me. And yeah, I think I obviously knew what I was signing up for, and I knew that that was happening, but I hadn't really kind of given myself time to embody that yet. Hello, my friends. A huge welcome to the channel. My name is Bee. I'm a psychologist and competitive bodybuilder, and I'm here to document the mindset shifts, the tools, strategies that I'm using as I embark on this journey and have done for a while. And yeah, we're 20 weeks out. It is incredible. I'm sat outside in cold Vancouver, hence all the blankets and tea. What really hit me, the realization of how much work has had to go in to building not just, my body, but my relationship with it. And obviously it takes work to, you have to put in the hours in the gym and diet to get to that goal. But what I really also hadn't kind of appreciated is all the work, like the huge development in my self-image and my relationship with my body, so that I could even consider that I would want to showcase myself in that kind of competitive sport, in that kind of way. It just really hit me that that is what I was doing. For a lot of women, and especially for a lot of women and young girls, growing up can be really difficult. We're often really shamed for our bodies and not invited to celebrate them. Growing up, I hated my body. I had such a bad relationship with myself, how I thought I looked, and that was so tied to my worth. And now, instinctively, I want to say I love my body, and I do, but I feel so guilty for saying that still, because I think, especially as women, we're really socialized not to think like that, and that our bodies can't be celebrated by ourselves. They just have to be enjoyed for others. So it's been so interesting to reflect on all of this. And I think, yeah, it really kind of hit me this week as well. I remember one of the first feminist books that I read was The Beauty Myth by Naomi Wolf. He kind of explains how by keeping the focus on women's bodies, you kind of control their output, and that really benefits a patriarchal system if women are too busy worrying about what they look like, you know, what they like, how thin they are, do they look young enough, all these things. It stops them from actually doing meaningful work because they're so self-conscious, they're so caught up in that struggle. And I remember reading that, and it really started to shift me. I think I was maybe 18, 19 when I read that. And it really did start to shift my relationship. And I saw that. I saw all the effort and energy that I had been putting in to criticizing my body and trying to shape it for what? And now here I am in this sport where I'm doing exactly that, but the purpose feels so much more liberating and so fulfilling that I'm just spinning that on its head. It's incredible. Like, yeah, the patriarchy want us women to focus on their body and look a certain way. And I don't really think that that ideal is quite bodybuilding either. Because even so, right, women are criticized for being too muscular, to like, and that's another huge thing that I've learned through this journey. My weight has fluctuated, and there's always something wrong. There's always something that other people could not like. And your confidence really does not have to come from what you look like, what your body looks like, the shape that you are. Your earth vessel will take so many different forms throughout life, especially as women. And I'm so aware of that. And so I'm so honored to be in this vessel at the moment. And just feeling amazing. It's been such a journey. I think when I first kind of started to think about doing a bodybuilding show almost a year ago now, I had no idea how spiritual the process would actually end up being. It has really felt like a huge celebration of me and of myself, and what a what a privilege to be doing that. It is really incredible. So when I realized that I hadn't even really realized I was 20 weeks out, it really hit me, because I realized I need to slow down and savor this experience and document it, share it, and just soak it up. You know, this is the first time, the first prep, and I really just want to be all in and just be here for it. Quite a lot has been going on in life. These last couple of months, I've had quite a bit of travel, family, visiting, you know, things with my career and my partner have really been shifting as well. And it's just been a whirlwind. Life often is such a whirlwind. So I want to start this little mini series, just kind of going through how the weeks are going and reflecting with you guys about things that are going well, challenges for the week, kind of where progress is hitting as well, which will be super exciting to kind of see how that all shapes out and develops. So yeah, we're 20 weeks out. I took check-ins over the weekend, and I was blown away, to be honest. I think it is crazy to think that the things that our human bodies are capable of if you just stick at something, it is amazing. And again, like, it's such a strange feeling because I feel so proud of what I've done, but I'm also so conscious about being boastful, or somehow because it's my body and I'm a woman that I shouldn't feel proud. There's so much to unpack, and I think that will be so key in looking at how I can do really well at the sport, is unpacking some of that. But my check-ins went really well. I had a posing session the same week, and we really tweaked my front pose. It had been going off a little bit, so I was really pleased to get that sorted. One thing that I've been, I guess, exploring and reflecting on is how I am perceived when I am eating my meal plan. I've had a bit of travel, and through that have been in situations with new people where I've been getting my Tupperware out, measuring my food, and eating in like large group situations with completely with people that are not into bodybuilding at all. And that has been a journey. It has taken a lot of work and a lot of courage and intention, again, on why am I doing this? What makes it important to me? And essentially, I kind of realized that this for me is a very empowering act. And it's not something that I need to kind of be secretive about or try not to make others feel uncomfortable by eating in a certain way. Just sharing and just embodying that practice of empowerment. I was actually on some teacher training for mindful self-compassion, and compassion is a very embodied practice. You really resonate with those feelings of warmth. The same with gratitude or even joy, practicing positivity, these things, they really sit in your body and you feel them. So when I'm around others, getting my Tupperware out, measuring things and eating, I firstly my nervous system needs to be relaxed so I can digest properly. But I also want to be happy and empowered, not, and feel that, really embody that. So that's been something I've been really leaning into, and it's not all the time. It can take a lot of work, and in each new situation, I have to kind of recalibrate, which I think is completely normal as well, right? When you're doing something scary, you're building confidence, you have to do that and just assess the vibe each time, and you build the confidence. But just because you've done it in one situation doesn't mean it's going to be the same. And that's applicable to building confidence in any skill. But there was one challenging instance where we went out for a coffee, and I always find in cafes and in that sort of situation, like, it's so nice to go and be somewhere different and enjoy like a black coffee for me, and be with someone who can obviously have whatever they want. But in those situations, yeah, it can feel really difficult because obviously outside food sometimes in other like restaurants and things is not really okay. So that can make me feel quite anxious. And I think there's yeah, that's probably the next step. And when we think about confidence, you build it in a ladder. That's how they teach it in cognitive behavioural therapy as well. So if you're learning how to swim and you have a fear of water, you're not just going to jump right in at the deep end, because most likely that will just reinforce that the fear of water, you'll feel frightened in that situation, right? So you're not going to desensitize yourself to that fear. Confidence essentially is just overcoming fear. So what you would do is you would gradually, okay, maybe let's dip a toe into the shallow end, and you build that up so that you feel confident and not afraid in those situations. So I guess for me, if big group situations are beginning to build up that kind of confidence muscle, I'd say probably my most fearful is thinking if I were to go out for a big, well, sometimes big, but sometimes smaller interactions, actually, because there's more focus on from the restaurant staff on just two people. So I guess for me, the kind of diving into the deep end of eating out would be going out to a really quiet restaurant where I bring my own food, and the restaurant staff come over and they say, "What are you doing?" And I don't even know what would happen. I guess worse, like, I just don't eat, it's fine. But building up my kind of confidence in those situations, because I want to be able to have this as a lifestyle and not feel fearful about, enjoying a lot of life. And there will be some times where I don't want to eat outside food. That's the reality of kind of competitive bodybuilding. So understanding that, I think, will be a real key kind of learning for me. And that's just going to keep developing as I lean into this more. I think it's so nice that as I reflect and share more, I realize more how much of a newbie I really am in this sport. I think that's such a beauty of it as well. And it's given me such confidence to going back to the kind of self-image and how I can feel confident and feel proud of what I'm doing, because it is a competitive sport. It feels like there is the kind of safety and structure to express that, which is lovely. I think I have been strength training and going to the gym for like 4 years, but only in the last year I've gotten serious about the bodybuilding specifically. And the more in depth that I go, the more kind of into the community that I get, the more I learn and the more confident that I start to feel in this journey. So what honor and privilege it is to be at that stage in my mental health journey, in my fitness journey, to be there, to be at this real high. And it's only the first show. Oh, it's incredible. So yeah, I'm just soaking it all in right now. Just soaking it in. I saw Coach Brandon, and he was like, "Yeah, you're 20 weeks out." And I heard it. And I didn't really feel it yet. I think all this time I've been so focused on the sport element, like, what am I going to look like on the stage? How am I going to present? Am I going to do well? That sort of thing, that I lost sight of. Yes, there's the body that I'm putting on stage, but then there's the person. And this week I really put them together, and I really recognized that the person that I'm putting on stage has done so much work, so much more, 100%, so much more than the body. Like, the young girl that I used to be, the way I used to relate to my body. I've had to go through a lot of personal development, a lot of my own therapy, then, you know, have had a career in psychology, helping others with mental health difficulties, and now kind of going into my interest in positive psychology, looking at how we can, once our needs are all met and we're in a safe enough environment, which also it does not happen to many people. And I'm so grateful to have that safety and support in my relationships, that I can now think about, okay, how can I thrive? How can I, it's cheesy, but be that best version of myself, but like, to get to choose how I want to feel and how I want to show up, to get to choose who the person on stage is. What a shift and what a journey that has been. And it's all coming together in just 20 weeks. So thank you so much for joining me on this, what is a very spiritual journey I'm leaning into. My real hope in sharing this is that these skills and these kind of tools, these shifts in my mindset, can be applicable to so many things. So many things. You don't have to be doing bodybuilding. You don't even have to be into fitness. You could be understanding your career. You know, what kind of things do you want to do in your life? What do you want your relationships to look like? Being intentional and setting goals and just watching how much progression I've been able to achieve in the last kind of 5 years since I really started this personal development and positive growth journey have been incredible. And if there's something that you've been meaning to kind of try, you should get on board. And I really hope that these tools are valuable for you to do whatever you want in your life, because it is all so achievable. Thank you so much, my friends, and I hope you have an amazing week. Thank you so much for watching.